This is a Wild Games Production podcast.
Welcome to the Classic FASERIP Podcast. They're in number 16. I'm Vince, and I'm with Keith.
Hello.
And special guest, Steve Jolly.
Hey, everybody.
We're live with another show. We're on YouTube, and we're recording it for those that just like to listen to audio only. So if you want to see some of the things we're talking about, you have to head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/theevildm, and you can see all the pictures that we will be referencing and a sneak peek at all the little project pieces that we have in store for you, as this week we'll be talking about the projects that have dropped in the unofficial Canon Project community, as well as we'll talk a little about the future of the MCU at the end, just our general thoughts about what's going to happen and what's, nothing spoiler-ish, whatever-ish. That's the right word? I don't even know if that's a word.
You get a quarter every time someone uses it.
Anyway, so, Steve, we're going to start with you since we're going to put you right on the spot. Right in front spotlight here. Tell us, what do you do in the community? What is officially you're part of the unofficial Canon Project with Keith, but are you a project manager, a lead? Are you just working on your own projects?
So my role in the unofficial Canon Project is really kind of a project coordinator, with everybody doing this on a voluntary basis. Nobody is certainly getting paid for what we do, but really it's just coordinating all the projects. If we need resources, if we need assistance, try to gen up help for people. And I also tend to provide all the official releases over on Facebook and also over at classicmarvelforever.com and on Twitter. So kind of the public face for it as well.
Okay, cool. And I might as well just jump into things. Actually, let's start here. I know Keith and I discussed this in the past, but say someone wants to they have like a really good idea, and how do they really just jump into this and start out? What is your method of recommending they start out and doing this whole entire thing? They're really good at the game, they know the rules in and out, but they're like, I have a great idea that the TSR never did, and I always wanted to see Professor X flying in a spaceship while Wolverine's his co-pilot. I don't know, which is an example.
So a good example would be kind of what I did, talking about Moon Knight source book that I think I guilted Keith into writing, or at least doing a good portion of the writing on that. So if there's a project that somebody's interested in doing, they've got this awesome idea. The best thing to do is to come on over to the Marvel Superheroes RPG Unofficial Canon Project Creative Team Facebook page. That's a mouthful. Come on over to that Facebook group, join up, let us know what you're interested in doing. The great thing about the creative team is that, we don't expect people to do all this stuff on their own.
Right.
A lot of these projects that have been released are really team projects. Somebody comes in with an idea and says, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and then other people jump in and say, hey, that's awesome. Hey, maybe you should add this. Oh, I've got this already written up. Or, hey, I remember seeing this. Let's do this. So these projects really come forth and become kind of a group project. Whether it's just a little bit of advice and stuff like that. I mean, there's people. I'm one of the people that does layout for the publications, so you don't have to be an expert on everything.
No,
you can just do your writing, let somebody else do the layout. Let someone else do the artwork, things like that. So that's the great thing about it is if you have an idea, come on over. it could be something as simple as a profile for Marvel File issue. Could be an entire issue of the Marvel File itself. If you got an idea that has 4 or 5 different profiles that you want to include, whether it's locations or people, or maybe some encounters, 1 or 2 page encounters, we're always looking for additional submissions for the Marvel File. So
Content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So what's the first thing you wanted to show everybody? Because you gave me a whole bunch of stuff to
Yes.
highlight here and have it all ready. I just want to know what you want to show people as examples.
Yeah. So let's talk about the releases that we've done so far this year. Kind of big picture of this project. We have, over the past 2.5 years or so, we've released 32 products. That's amazing for a volunteer group. I just went through and counted up all the products that we've done. So yeah, 32.
I do have a question for you
as-
guys.
oh,
But
yeah,
before
go
you continue, have you guys ever approached Jeff Grubb and said, hey, what do you think of all this stuff? And has he had any comments about it? I know it's long behind in his past, but you guys are continuing what he basically was doing. Does he have any comments? I see him every year at North Texas RPG Con. I think he's been here the last 2 years. I think he'll be here this year, so I'm going to maybe poke him and see what he has to say about this stuff. But I'm just curious if he's ever spoken to one of you guys.
Not to myself or George. I know we've got Stephen Shend on the unofficial Canon Project page, and Keith, do you know the other person that was part of the original TSR group?
Dave Martin. There's Dave Martin as well. And there's another fellow, I think it's Dale Donovan.
Yes, it is Dale Donovan.
Okay.
So a couple of people that were involved with the Marvel Superheroes RPG when it's still with TSR back in the late 80s, early 90s. And it's been interesting them talking about the things that could have been. And maybe that's a topic for another episode. But
yeah, that would be.
But it's really interesting, some of the things that they've talked about. But they've talked about, looking at some, they're excited by the stuff that we've been producing. So I can't say, I don't know what Jeff Grubb thinks about it, or, if he's seen any of the stuff, but I know some of the other people that were involved with it back at TSR have been really impressed by all the stuff that we've been doing. So.
Well, I'm going to North Texas RPG Con this upcoming weekend, next weekend, I should say, June 7th, 8th, 9th, around there. And I know a lot of TSR alumni are there, as well as I'm pretty sure Jeff should be there. So I'm going to try to poke him and say, hey, Jeff, what do you think? Just maybe he's not even aware of this going on. I think it'd be cool to get his input on all this.
Oh, yeah, that'd be neat. As a matter of fact, Stephen Shand is really kind of... in talking about all the projects and stuff that he was involved with back in TSR, I think he's been kind of inspired to get back into the game a little bit. Whether it's on just the playing side or maybe, writing and stuff like that, I don't know. We'll see.
Excellent. Well, we'll find out what happens. Anyway, it'd be cool to get him on the show just to get his commentary on things, get people to hear some of the stuff that you guys have spoken about, just projects and things like that. So
yeah absolutely.
Back on track though, but what were you going to say before I rudely interrupted you with all that?
No, so like I said, we've done 32 products over the past 2.5 years, as well as 24 issues of the Marvel File and the 2018 annual. The amount of material that we produced is really interesting. I enjoy it. And the products that we've released the most recent includes Keith's Marvel Western Sourcebook, Mighty Marvel Western Sourcebook, I should say, which is a fantastic book. If you wanted to, explore the West Coast Avengers going back in time to the Old West, kind of re-explore that, or one of the really cool ideas that one of the members, Tom, one of the members of the Canon Project, put forth is what if Arcade made a Westworld?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, so the
that.
uses of that book are endless. So being able to utilize the Marvel Western source book, it's got not only a huge amount of characters that you can use, but it's got weapons and equipment and stuff like that.
I actually have it up on the screen for those that wanna that are on YouTube can view it right now. 214 pages. Continue.
Perfect. Yeah. So there's that one. Kind of another one of Keith's projects. He's been very productive recently. He did the Power Pack source book, which I don't remember the page count. It's not huge. It's like 40-something pages.
52.
But it really tracks the kids, Power Kids, from inception, when they gain their powers, all the way to present time. As well as has stats for the Snarks, the Chimelians, all sorts of different characters, bad guys from the Power Pack series, things like that. Keith, is there anything you want to mention about that one?
I have two, and I mentioned this sort of in passing, and it's, if you go and you look at like the dedication stuff that I do for my books, I have two grandkids, and that's primarily why I wrote the Power Pack source book. It was a gateway. I can remember being young enough to read Power Pack. That came out in 84, so I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old, right in that age group. And I can remember thinking, and it was, I think, at least for me, I was on the cusp of becoming a teenager, and it was almost too little kid, but at the same time, it was just Marvel enough that I could deal with it. And it was always a labor of love. It was one of those things that I thought, someone really sort of needs to update these, and when I was putting together the Silver Age book, I wanted to do a coming soon subscription page type thing at the end, and the actual subscription page didn't work out, but I had the coming soon, and of course I had the Power Pack source book in there. And so that was sort of, I figured if I was going to put it out there, I might as well at least do it. And thank God it didn't turn out to be another one of these 200-page source books that that was would have been too much for me.
That would be impressive if it was to find that much material just from the Power Pack series. But
who did the layout on this Power Pack? Was that you, Steve?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Did you do this in Publisher or?
Actually, Microsoft Word. I do all of my layout work in Microsoft Word.
You did this in Word? This looks really good for Word. I don't mean to put down on Word, but usually Word is such a pain in the ass to deal with. Nice job.
I've grown accustomed to using Microsoft Word. Putting not to get into the behind the curtain layout stuff, but putting column and page breaks and picture placement and things like that. I've learned how to manipulate Word to do what I need it to do most of the time.
Well, and I'll just say this: Steve made that look like magic. I mean, he really did. And anything that Steve has done layout for, and Steve has very patiently done all the layout for, I think, everything I've done except for maybe the Golden Age book. I think I did the first round on that, and I think you went through and finished up the second round. And it would just not look the same without Steve's hard work and dedication to it. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about Steve. He's the Oz behind the curtain.
That's what it feels like sometimes. So another product that we have released this year is actually kind of a re-release, a repackaging of an old adventure that was initially released in Imagine magazine back in the 80s. I think it was like 1986 when it was released. So I don't think this got a lot of exposure over here in the States, especially for people that are getting into it now. It's Kiss of Death by Paul Cockburn. Yep. So that's actually basically repackaging of that adventure that showed up in the magazine. And what I did is I just took the material, put it into the format of one of the classic Marvel Adventures series, so the MH series of adventures.
Right.
And yeah, just had fun with it. So playing around with the pictures and things like that. So so that's another one. We also have released kind of the flagship product that we have been working on for a long time. And this really is kind of without a doubt, a creative team product, which is the Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition, Volume 1. This was George Henson's brainchild. At first we were thinking, what would the 1993 Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe look like? Yeah, we bantered back and forth about that and talked about what would that include. Is it worth pursuing developing that material and stuff like that? And we just realized, you know what, let's just start from scratch. Let's just take the hardcover volumes of the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe that came back out in, I think, 2010 or 2011, and use that as the framework for what we're going to include in these gamer handbooks. So this included, I think, probably 6 or 7, maybe even 8 different people working on different profiles. We basically choose different profiles to work on. We submit it, and then Chris Tyner, I did not envy him at all for doing the layout on this thing. This was huge project for him to do the layout on. Taking material from a bunch of different people and putting it into one product. We've got more volumes coming out. So, the volume 1 is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Lastly, the last product that we've had come out in this last year in 2019, is the Citrusville source book. So really digging into Steve Gerber's run on the Man-Thing, and it really captures the flavor of Steve Gerber and what he did in that series fantastically. It was really fun trying to come up with the cover, because there's plenty of textless images from the Man-Thing, but I really wanted to kind of capture not only the innocence of that era, but also the kind of twisted innocence. And that's why, I chose the image of the 2 kids drawing a pentagram in the ground. God knows what they're planning on doing with Man-Thing in the background. Because what else do kids do in the swamp is draw pentagrams.
All the time.
Yeah, of course.
When I was young in Florida, that's all we ever do is run into the swamp and make pentagrams and run out.
That's right. See what just happens to appear, right?
Yeah. Swamp Thing.
Southwest Georgia. I mean, that's...
So yeah, this is of course the second in a new series that we have started producing. The first one is the Kunlun book done by Andrew Goldstein of the Marvelous Locations series, which is probably going to be another one of our big series that we do. So we've got a lot of character books. We want to do a little bit more material on different locations. So that's why we did, Andrew Goldstein did the Kunlun and the 10 Realms book. We got the Citrusville book. And to kind of jump right into the stuff that we've got upcoming, some of the other locations books that we've got coming up is Andrew Goldstein's Atlantis book.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is going to be fantastic, because not only does it include coverage of all the different undersea realms, to include Atlantis, Lemuria, Deviant Lemuria, Mu, all the different locations and all the sub-Atlantises that have been seen throughout the Marvel Comics history, but it's also going to have additional rules for undersea combat, exploration, things like that. New talents, stuff like that. So it's really a fun book. I'm actually working on the layout for that right now, so I don't know if you want to show a preview. I send over a preview of the kind of the internal layout of that.
Oh, yeah, the Impervious Rex one. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Here, let me just pull that one up. I have the cover up right now just so people can look at that while you were talking, because it's a beautiful cover.
Oh, yeah.
Just change this back. Get that up. I did have a question while I'm pulling that up from our people in our live chat. From Big G. He wants to know, have you guys ever thought about updating some of the supplements based on the Disney Marvel media, either the movies or the TV shows?
Actually, so we try to keep the material to the comics. However, I will add, if you look back through some of the Marvel File issues, you will see we kind of deviated a little bit from that. We've just a little bit. So we've got the 1970s Marvel Cinematic Universe, which included the Hulk TV series, Daredevil TV series. Well, I would say TV series, but his appearance in one of the Hulk movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man live action TV series, which of course we kind of go off of the Marvel fandom to figure out if there's an Earth designation for them, then yeah, we can cover them. Have we approached the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all? We haven't. I think just because it changes so rapidly and there's just a lot of stuff. I will say, if you're looking for maybe just a primer, Ben Reilly over on angelfire.com, he's got a lot of character profiles from the Marvel Cinematic Universe already done. Not to the extent of a full gamer's handbook profile, but it's got the stats, the powers, things like that. So if you want, you can kind of go check that out, and that'll at least get you started. So to answer your question, yes, we've considered it, just hasn't been done yet. However, we're always looking for volunteers. And
I'm sure Ben wouldn't mind if you pulled his material and made it into a book, as long as you gave him the proper credit for it.
And actually, I'm looking at the chat here. Jeremy, I think if you take a look, I think Miss Lion, I think her stats is in one of the Marvel File issues
It's
that had
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends issue. I think that's 6. Because I think I did that one, and then I turned around and like 6 issues later did the 1970s stuff.
Yep. Yeah, you are absolutely right. It is Marvel File issue 6. So Jeremy, go check out issue 6. And matter of fact, I'll open it up real quick and see exactly what page it's on, because I remember seeing her in there.
You would be surprised, between that and Mr. Frump, how many requests I got for stats.
All right, hang on.
He wants a box set. Jeremy says, I want a box set. Well,
Jeremy, there's not enough time of the day, sir. Thank you for your interest.
So, Jeremy, it's on Miss Lyon's stats are actually on page 8 of issue 6 of the Marvel File. So there we go. So good job, Keith.
Thank you.
How much of the Impervious Rex do you want me to show, or whatever's here is fine to show on here?
You can flip through the pages just to kind of give them a sneak preview of the stuff that's there.
Okay.
So that's just chapter 1, kind of talking about the undersea exploration and some new talents and things like that. So while you're pulling that up, we'll talk about a couple other things that are coming out that I don't think you've got any previews for. But so another locations book that we've got coming out is a book that I'm actually doing as soon as I can take a break from all the layout work that I'm doing, is a book on Madripoor. So we're going to really expand the material that was presented in some of the X-Men box sets. Really utilize some of the resources online to, cover all the different locations there in Madripoor, talk about the island, and some of the other characters that haven't made an appearance in the game yet. So we'll be doing stats on those. Another book is actually going to be an expansion of my New Orleans chapter from the Gulf Coast Avengers book that I did way back before the unofficial Canon Project came about back in 2013. So we're going to expand the New Orleans chapter into a full-fledged book for the location series. And kind of then another book in the location series that George Henson is working on is Daredevil's Guide to Hell's Kitchen, which is really going to expand the material that was seen in the Deluxe City source book and their Deluxe City campaign guide, really expand out all the stuff that's been seen in Hell's Kitchen, and also talk a little bit more about street level campaign, kind of expanding the material there, provide some additional ideas and stuff for street level campaigns.
I'm really looking.
What, Keith?
I said I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so that's been a project kind of long in the making. It's had a couple of starts and stops. George worked on it for a while, and then I think work on the deluxe edition of the Marvel Universe, Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe, kind of took over a little bit. He was kind of heading that up, but he's dove back into it and is actively working on it right now. So I'm excited about that one too. That's going to be a fun project to work on. So that covers all the location books that we've got coming out. Let's talk about all the other products that we've got being actively worked on right now.
Okay.
So, as mentioned previously, one of the projects we've got coming up is the Moon Knight source book that I guilted Keith into writing. Yeah, I know. You're easy. I came up with a cover concept and just said, hey, wouldn't this be awesome, right? I love Moon Knight. He's a really just kind of an interesting character to really dive into. And so somehow that guilted Keith into doing it. I think he just thought it sounded interesting. So, but no, he's already done his part. I've just got to find the time to write up the profiles that I've got to do, which is some of the more recent Moon Knight stuff, including the Sun King and things like that from the most recent series, and then put it all together. So that one won't be too difficult. It'll probably be about another 45 to 50 page source book.
Wow.
But it'll be fun. I think it's fun just diving into the different weapons and equipment, kind of very Batman-esque, all his different tools and things like that. So we've also talked about a little bit before about the Sentinel Survival Guide, which is a project that one of our members is developing, and it's really an expansion on the MX series of adventures from back in the TSR days. And what it is it's basically a campaign source book for judges to use to help really, if he wants to run a campaign in the Nightmares of Future Past world, this is going to provide him plenty of ideas that he can either use or throw out, lots of different stuff for him to be able to utilize to run players through that realm, that universe. We've also got Louis Danhoff's Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deadpool Core coming out. So that's kind of a fun little book to cover a bunch of characters that have been seen in recent Deadpool series, including a very in-depth look at the Merc with a Mouth himself. So yeah, that one's I think 180 something pages, and he did all the work. I mean, it's fantastic, including the layout. So he did a fantastic job on that. That's pretty much right now in review phase. So that should be coming out pretty much any time now. Another project we've got coming up is Tom Plassa's Shield campaign box set, and I say box set with air quotes. He is coming up with a couple of different books to kind of cover an entire Shield campaign, and it covers stuff from Shield's inception all the way to now, different characters, equipment. I mean, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be huge.
Huge.
Yeah. We've got a book that I've been working on, which is really an expansion on a web product that came out a long time ago. So David Martin actually came up with this, and I think he pitched it to TSR. I don't think they bought off on it, and so he just released it out to the wild way back in the beginning days of the internet. And it was really just the aliens of the Marvel Universe. And so what I've done is kind of taken that, put it into a formal, MA series type book, and expanded it with a bunch of the alien races that have appeared since he created that. So we retitled it to Collector's Guide to the Universe. So it's going to be him talking about his collection, his menagerie of all the different alien races that he's got. And what that'll be useful for is for both judges to, come up with alien races to go up against in either a galactic campaign or even just, an Earth level campaign. But also the fun thing is it provides the players, if they want to play a specific alien race, they can just utilize those stats that are provided as a basis for their character. So that'll be a fun product to finally release. We've got Volume 2 of Bring on the... So if you're looking for more villains to throw against your characters, against your players, this is going to be a product for you, our judges, for you to utilize to have more bad guys to go up against. And of course, last but not least, we got lots more future volumes of the Gamer's Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition. So we've got not only the ones that are going to cover the hardbacks, but also additional specific issues of one-offs, kind of like Deadpool Core, things like that are going to be coming out. And then kind of a little farther out in the planning stages, Andrew Goldstein has more volumes of the Myths and Monsters series, which is going to cover the African pantheons, European pantheons, and American pantheons. So those are follow-on books to Keith's Asgard book, Olympus book, and Andrew's Asian Pantheons book. So lots more coming down the pike for the Marvel RPG. This is fantastic. It's really fun to see this game kind of having a resurgence. So
cool. Let me grab some questions here while we have a moment here. Give you a chance to catch your breath there, because we've had you talking the whole entire time. So Big G wants to know, maybe we'll direct this to Keith since he's been quiet. We'll put him on the spot. Who is your favorite character that you would like to see more supplements done in the community project?
Wow. Favorite Marvel character? That's a toss-up between Captain America and Daredevil. Mm-hmm. With the excellent George Henson doing Daredevil's Guide to Hell's Kitchen, I think we got Daredevil at least covered for a little while. It would be cool to have somebody do a Captain America source book. And I don't know if you would. To me, there would be no way to make it as comprehensive as, say, the Golden Age source. Mm-hmm. But to see it cover, at least from the Lee Kirby stuff in the 60s to modern day, would be nice. Will it happen? Probably not, because the trend is to, I think, there tends to be more of a group related stuff, whether it's West Coast Avengers, East Coast Avengers, X-Men, Power Pack, whatever. The Moon Knight source book worked because it's not a lot of stuff. Power Pack worked because it's not a lot of stuff. But Captain America, you would have to go deep and hard for that to really work. And I just, I don't know if I have that one in me.
Yeah, but that's a lot of material to cover.
Yeah, I would love to see a good Captain America source book. Something that really paid a lot of attention to that character. That's my personal favorite. So yeah.
Steve, how about you?
Oh gosh, probably the thing that, and this, I think this is going to answer Antonio's question. The thing that I would love to see, and secretly have been actually working on.
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
Oh, I know. Is a Midnight Suns Marvel Horror, basically campaign box set. So yes, Antonio, yes, there is one planned for the future. It's actually has been partially developed. Writing has been going on for a while now. I know we've got some very excited members of the creative team that have been working on it. And so yes, so it'll have rules for creating horror characters, so vampires, werewolves, all sorts of different stuff. It'll have both a judge's book for different rules and character generation, things like that. It'll also have a character, a bunch of character profiles as well that have not been seen anywhere else. So that one's going to be pretty fun. And yeah, that's the one that I was really excited about. But unfortunately, with all the other things going on, I just haven't had time to really re-engage on it.
Steve, let me ask you a real quick question about that. Isn't there two different there's two different source books that are coming out that are very similar to this? I know there's like a Midnight Sun source book, and then wasn't there another like Realms of the Occult? So
yeah, the Midnight Suns product is actually called Realms of the Occult.
Okay, so it was a name.
Yep.
Okay. That confused me for a while there. I thought, why are we working on two different source books that are like just the same?
No, so actually, the official title is Realms of the Occult. Kind of going off the Realms of Magic accessory. So yeah, this one's going to be Realms of the Occult.
See, we should have went with deities and demigods for the Marvel God Pantheon series. I'm telling you. I kept suggesting it, and George was like, no, Marvel, TSR lawsuit. I'm like, whatever.
Legends in Law. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah,
that name is taken too. We have another question here by Fajuka, who wants to know, dumb question. No question's dumb, but is Moon Knight really insane? Just really insane? I don't know much about Moon Knight at all, to be honest.
You want to answer this first?
Oh, go for it.
I was just going to say, I think the jury's out on that. My answer, my personal opinion, I think it's a combination of, yeah, he's somewhat unhinged, but I mean, what do you expect when you've got, you're basically the guy who is channeling a friggin' Egyptian god through you, and and is acting on his behalf. So yeah, I'm thinking both.
And my thought on it was, and I sat down and read the original series while I was writing that, and I've got the essential volumes 1 through 3, and I actually have the original series boxed up. So I don't think that was the original intent. I think that just sort of was as things got further along, it was easier to explain that, or easier to make that a concept. Because if you look at even Chuck Dixon's version, Mark Spector Moon Knight, there's not a hint of that in there anywhere. And it wasn't until later stuff where they're like, oh, he's crazy, he's loony, he's, and I liked the original presentation of Khonshu and his interaction with him, which was you didn't know if it was him, you didn't know if it was real. He wakes up from a vision, of Khonshu telling him, get up and go avenge this, and goes off and does that. And then later is, there's the whole point in one of the issues where he's crippled. I mean, he's paralyzed from the waist down, and the doctors are saying he's never going to recover. He's never going to walk. And he's sitting in the rain on the rooftop of Spectre Manor in costume, in a wheelchair, and, there's some flash of lightning, and suddenly he's standing up, walking around, saying, we've got to go out and stop this. And then with no explanation, I'm sure there's a host of doctors running around New York and Marvel going, that dude is just absolutely nuts. But I think as the years went by, it was easier to present it like, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think it started off that way, but it certainly lends itself to it now.
All right. Antonio also says, Steve, you are my hero.
Yes, I saw. And I also saw he said the Gulf Coast Avengers needs an affiliate in Texas. And if you look in my Gulf Coast Avengers source book, I went ahead and actually had the Texas Rangers as being the official team in Texas. And with a few additional people that are very non-canon, because it was my own campaign. But the Texas Rangers actually play a big part in my Gulf Coast Avengers campaign. So
also we have a question where you can get original and old stuff of Moon Knight. Where can a poor person pick this up? Good luck.
Really bargain bins at your local comic book stores.
Yeah, that's mostly where I got mine. I mean, mine was, I won't even say 50-cent box, but probably Dragon Con. If you could afford to go to a convention, you could probably afford to buy the essential handbooks. Which, to me, I mean, I actually just bought a Mockingbird, the Barbara Morris Mockingbird Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Trade paperback. It was $40
awesome.
Originally. I found it for like $5 plus shipping.
Really?
At a convention? Wow.
Perfect condition. So I was like, oh my God. And a lot of that stuff I had never read, the old Savage Tales stuff, all that. And that was a character who, they brought her a long way. So, and it was nice to see them actually, put together a really nice source book. Or not source book, rather, but trade paperback for her. Because, she's been around for forever. She deserves it.
I'm reading the comments in chat. A strawberry shortcake book?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a little out. I don't think there's a Earth designation for strawberry shortcake's realm.
Well, I'm sure there is if you look.
I'm thinking that one needs to be Andrew Goldstein's.
Nice. Just tag some guy with a
anybody
product.
can do it, he can.
There you go.
Well, it's payback for that romance novel book that he trying to get me to do.
Yeah, that was a fun April Fool's little concept.
I don't know if Vincent, do you know about that?
No.
Obviously not the way the look on your face. So
either share it here or share it after the show because I got to know.
Okay, so I wake up much like everybody else in the unofficial canon group on April 1st, and there is a romance source book cover that Andrew Goldstein, I guess, has cobbled together. And he's like announcing Keith's next big project after the Moon Knight source. And he had this whole write-up about how there was like ways to make out, ways to role play making out, ways, how to leave your boyfriend, how to leave your girlfriend, 1950s romance at its best. And I'm like, oh, you. something or other.
Yes. I pulled up the post here on the unofficial Canon Project. Some of the highlights are new talents such as fake crying, and real fake crying. Did you ever wonder what happened to exciting characters such as Mary Sue, Dr. Jenkins, or the love triangle of Rico, Laura, and Ellen? Now you can find out with over 100 character profiles of these star-crossed lovers. A special section on running romance stories in your campaign, including running one-on-one romance with your GM without it getting weird, changing yourself for your boyfriend, how can I use karma to do it? And career or romance, which should I choose? 6 new romance adventures, including My Boyfriend Was From Outer Space, They Called Him Dr. Love, and Red Hot Floozies. And lastly, rules for teen romance humor comics. Now you can play through the adventures of Patsy Walker and Millie the Model. Just another example of Andrew's outstanding writing ability. When I first saw that, I'm like, okay, I think we've jumped the shark here. But
someone somewhere will want it, and that's the crazy part, because there are things that we did that even I did the Golden Age thing because I wanted to see one done, and no one else seemed to want to do it, and I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a shot. How bad could it possibly be? All 300 plus pages of it, but somebody somewhere, that for someone that's a fan favorite, just like somebody still reads Archie and Jughead. You know what I mean? So dude, somewhere
Archie has become hardcore, man. Don't be dissing Archie now. Have you seen some of the Archie comics? They're killing people in Archie now.
No, I've not seen the Archie comics like the 70s. So
take a look. Just pick one up next time you're at a comic book store, just to peek at it. They're doing some hardcore stuff there.
Well, Vincent, all I can say is this. I mean, after watching the first season of Riverdale, where he's making out with Miss Grundy, I'm like, holy smokes. This is not the Miss Grundy I remember.
We did have a comment on the side here from Stephen Watson, because he was having some problems chatting in the main chat, saying that you can find Moon Knight at ndcomics.com. I'm looking at that website. New Dimension Comics, I guess, is a place to find old... nice. Old Moon Knight stuff for pretty cheap, I guess. Let me throw that link in the chat so people can have it.
Good deal.
There we go. Okay, I don't think we have any other questions here. If no one else has any questions, we'll continue along. I think that's done with all the projects now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to get involved in the community, just head over to the link which I put below the video here, which is also in the podcast audio version website. If you head over to classicfaserip.com, this episode number 16, right in the notes there will be a link to the unofficial Canon Project, which you can click on and apply to. I mean, just as long as you answer the questions to prove you're not a robot or a bot, I'm sure they'll approve you, unless you're like, no, I hate Marvel, I'm here for DC. Then I'm sure they're going to say get lost and hit deny, but why would you do that? So I could just see people doing, I'm here because I hate Marvel. Right. Decline. But yeah, head over to that link, click on that, answer the couple questions just to prove you're a human, because we have to do that these days, because we get those stupid Russian bots going into every channel, then putting all crap in your group. And then get in there and start chatting it up. People in there are very friendly. They're helpful. You can ask questions, and then people like Steve will message you or maybe give you some advice. Keith will give you some advice. Steven has Tom Partyman, as we've called him in the last episode. Keith, you're the one that nicknamed him that, so. Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Right. He's given some advice. There's some lots of help people in there, so go ahead and do that. Oh, okay. Thanks. Stephen Watson just now chatting with us in our group. Yay. Okay.
Excellent.
Oh, that's his local friendly gaming shop. Okay.
He's going to be Wily Steve Watson.
Wily Steve Watson. Uh-oh, we got a new nickname. Make sure you add this to the community now, Steve, because these are official. We got Party Man Tom, and we got Wily Steve Watson.
Party Man Palazza, yeah, and Steve Watson, Steve Wiley Watson.
and Cool Man Keith. That's what we're going to call him.
Okay, yeah, sure. That works.
Anyway, okay, cool. Just go ahead and do that. There's also, you said there was a creative team. I'm not sure what the requirements are to get into that group, but I'm guessing if you're actually physically working on a project more than just providing a write-up or two, I think you would join that group to get some more advice. Steve?
Yeah, so whether you just have an idea or actively working on a project, we've also got people who just simply provide artwork. We've got a couple of artists that are part of the creative team that create their own art for some of our upcoming products. We've got people that, like myself, primarily do layout work. So really it's just a team, the group for anybody who is participating in the projects, writing up individual profiles, things like that, to come on in, and it's kind of a working group. So yeah, if you're interested, come on over. We could always use help.
Okay. And
oh yeah.
The difference between the creative team versus just the actual project itself, because there's less people in the creative team, is what I was trying to express there. Out there.
Yeah, creative team is the behind the curtain stuff. All the work on the projects happens there, and then the unofficial Canon Project group is our public page. That's where we actually release all the final product and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so now that that's out of the way, we're going to talk a little bit about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as where that's going. Not really any real spoilers. Try to avoid those in case you haven't seen Endgame or Captain Marvel or anything like that. So, are you guys looking forward to seeing the new Spider-Man movie coming out?
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, that's, whether it connects to any of these other movies or not, Spider-Man, I've enjoyed it, all the Spider-Man since Tobey Maguire. I mean, I think there were some better than others, but it's
You didn't like him in the black suit dancing, one of those.
The emo. My favorite part of that was actually Into the Spider-Verse, where they parodied that. And I thought that was hysterical. And I think, to me, Tobey Maguire had the right look, the wrong attitude. Spider-Man wasn't talkative. He almost didn't say anything. Andrew Garfield had the right attitude, but didn't have the right look to me.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Tom Holland is pretty much
nailing it.
So, they finally got it right. Which, and
looks like Keith froze. He froze in a very odd way, to be honest. Well, okay. Since he froze, we'll continue along. What do you think about the Spider-Man movie?
I'm excited for it. I'm curious to see how they're going to incorporate the results of Endgame and things like that into the new Spider-Man movie. And based on some of the things that have been kind of hinted upon for Spider-Man Homecoming, specifically Mysterio's origin, I'm really curious to see what they do with that. Because if what they say is, or if what they've hinted at is accurate, it really opens up a lot of possibility for the future of the MCU. So, talking about Mysterio possibly coming from some other, basically another dimension, another alternate universe. So,
one movie I'm definitely looking forward to after reading is The Black Widow. I know that's going to be a prequel movie, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they're going to do with that. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Or
yeah, I'd love to see what they do with, I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to explore. I mean, yeah, there's the couple of things that they hinted upon when, you had the talk between Hawkeye and Black Widow. What was the location?
Bucharest.
Yeah, Bucharest. To see if they actually expand that out into a story or something like that.
Well, now we're on. This is phase 4 of the MCU, I believe now, right? Because we went through 1, 2, 3 was just the end game was the end of 3. Now we're on phase 4, I believe, and
yes,
this is
actually. I think Spider-Man is the end, or the end of 3. I'm sorry.
Spider-Man's the end of 3. Okay, I thought it was more into 4. Okay, so that means we're getting another phase 4 project, which is at least another 5 years of movies. Where do you think that Keith, where do you think that they're going in the direction of these movies?
Well, judging by some of what we're hearing coming out, Eternals, more Spider-Man, Black Panther, another Captain Marvel. I've got friends who are not hardcore comic book fans, but they love the movies, and they were really sort of taken aback by some of the choices that were made, whether it was how they left off, without getting into spoilers, how they left off with Captain America at the end of Endgame, and who the next group of Avengers might be. And some of the people just, aren't really, it's like, well, why can't we have Thor? Why can't we have Iron Man? Why can't... And it's like, guys, we had 10 years of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
The guy wants to give it a rest.
Yeah. I never thought we would have a year of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
No.
And, if you would have looked back and let's take it back to 2002. Okay. If you'd have told any of us, hey, in 6 small years, you're going to have a Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man movie, and it's going to be number 1 at the box office, and it's going to start a chain of movies, 22 movies that are going to establish Marvel Universe in the movies. We'd all probably laughed at it. It's like they can't get X-Men right. What makes you think that they can get Iron Man right? Heck, I would argue that the best movie up until the beginning of the cinematic Marvel Universe was Blade. Because it nailed it at every level. I mean, Blade was Blade. Other than the profanity that was in it, other than not Whistler, I'm sorry, Deacon Frost not looking like Robert Shaw. I mean, it was a pretty good adaptation of it. So, but it's one of those things where Eternals could be good if it's done. Doctor Strange was good. It was enjoyable. I can't wait to see what they do with something else with that. Whether it's bringing in Clea or Namor or whatever. I'm just sorry that the Netflix stuff didn't go over as well as it could have.
Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that stuff in the Disney app, so don't count it out just yet.
I will be curious to see what the Disney Plus streaming service, are they going to go, like, I could see them bringing over some of the series, but like Punisher is pretty dark.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, what is with Disney Plus? Is it going to be primarily focused on kids, or is it going to be, all the Disney products, including, the Star Wars, the Raiders of the Lost Ark? I mean, all the different things that Disney and all its conglomerates own, which means it could be just another, essentially, Netflix or any other streaming service that just provides a bunch of content. So, I mean, it's going to include, the Vision Scarlet Witch series is coming up. The Falcon and Winter Soldier series is coming out. So there's a lot of stuff coming out.
That looks like it's going to be really good too, based on what I've been reading.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I would like to see. And this is a funny story. I was actually telling my wife this. I said I bought on Vudu. I bought Captain Marvel. So I had my grandkids over the other day, and I said, "Hey guys, we're going to watch this movie." And I had mistakenly taken them to see Shazam, right? Not realizing that it is not a kid's movie.
No.
I had no clue.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
mean, the 4-year-old was like, Papa, he threw that guy through the window. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to get just worse from here, but they were like, well, what kind of movie is this, Papa? And I said, well, it's a movie about a woman with superpowers. I said, she's got a cat. And, so they were like, okay, well, let's see the kitty cat, and I'm thinking, oh God, they're like 4 and 6. They loved it. They absolutely loved it from start to finish. And I mean, just were, my granddaughter, who's 6 years old, loved it. She was like, Papa, this is a great movie. I like it. And even with Goose doing his tentacle thing, it didn't scare them. I mean, they loved it. So I would like to see something that you could really take a kid to. I couldn't take my grandkids to go Batman versus Superman. I couldn't take them to see Justice League. That's just too scary, So, and I'm not saying make it like kitty, but just stuff you could, a little more friendly, family friendly, that's what this stuff was all based on anyway. So Eternals could be really good. Spider-Man is always a crowd pleaser. I want to see a good second Black Panther movie. I loved the first one. I thought it was fantastic. Just, find us different stuff. Whether it's Scarlett Johansson coming back as Black Widow for a prequel movie, that wouldn't be bad. Or
good.
Do something with the X-Men.
Yes.
Eventually they're going to have to. They've got them now, so eventually them and Fantastic Four are going to have to show up at some point.
I'm a little cautious about this Dark Phoenix movie coming out, and I wanted to mention it before as Steven was reading my mind in chat, apparently, because he's like, I could see him about to mention Dark Phoenix, which I was.
Okay.
I'm not sure what to think of that movie, because it seems like that when they purchased the whole thing and it was done, they're just like, you know what, it's done, just throw it out. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's the end of the X-Men as far as that storyline goes. The worst we could do is recoup the money we lost, or the money we made from this. So I don't know what to say. It doesn't look that good. I'm sorry.
Well, and we've also got New Mutants coming out as well.
I'm more excited about New Mutants than I am Dark Phoenix. And
we'll see it.
We probably won't see that one for another year and a half. But to be real honest with you, we've seen Dark Phoenix. It was called The Last, and it was horrible then. I really can't say that this is going to change my opinion very much of it, because everything I'm reading, I'm like, let's see.
That
no
was
Hellfire.
done. That was done. That was done. That was done.
Yeah, we've seen this. You've seen this. Last time she killed Cyclops, this time she kills Mystique out the door. I mean, that's in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can't even say we're going into spoiler areas, because if you've seen a trailer for it, you know exactly what happened. So, yeah, I'm just not. I have no faith in that one. So.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what Disney does.
Yeah.
What is it, October or November? Their streaming service is actually going to officially start, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to just wait and see. I mean, Netflix is probably going to take a good hit when that comes out, because a lot of people I know are switching based upon all the Marvel and Disney product. So, we'll see what happens. We just have to sit and wait. Yeah. And I think unless DC gets their act together, their streaming service is going to be dead in a year, because the only thing on there that I've watched that's really good is Titans and Young Justice, and that's it.
Swamp Thing is coming out soon.
Actually, that did,
Swamp Thing started yesterday.
That one looks actually really good.
All right, I have to check that out. I forgot it dropped yesterday.
Yeah, the trailer is out, so
I've actually seen it. It's. I wasn't sure how it was going to play. The trailer looked good. You could never tell any based on just a trailer.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a lot of practical effects in it. The CGI that they do sparingly. So I was like, this could be really good. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with it, whether they're doing another season or whether this was a one and done. But It looks fantastic.
So the first episode, without spoilers, was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to just check that out. All right, well, let's wrap things up because we're at the hour mark, and I know Steve has to go, and usually we try to keep these shows to at least an hour. So with that said, we'll be back probably whenever with a new show. Keith and I are going to try to get back to the every 2 week schedule if he's free and I'm free. He's been busy. I've been busy myself with some actual working for once on Saturdays, which is weird. But Steve, if you guys could just stay after the show, we'll just discuss a few things. And for those listening out there, we appreciate you tuning in to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't. And also, if you're listening to the audio podcast, head over to the YouTube channel, which is a link will be in the notes. And you can see all the things we were discussing during this podcast. Head over to Facebook for the unofficial Canon Project if you want to join and get involved. There's lots of people. There's probably like 500 people in that group at this point. Probably more last I looked.
Actually, I think 800 people in the unofficial Canon Project, the public side, and then we've got about 30 to 40 in the creative team. So, yes. But again, we're always looking for more people to participate.
Excellent. Okay, with that said, we're going to say keep it original, keep it old school, and keep it Marvel. There we go. Good night, everybody.
Night.